I'm appalled at what you said on that pod thing. It's disgusting.
This is the After the Show podcast. It's where we get honest and real with your ass. So sit back, relax, have a blast, because it's time for the After the Show podcast.
Yeah, hello, and welcome to the KVJ After the Show podcast. Happy Thursday. Well, I can actually kind of smell and feel the weekend. It is just coming up here. Wow. How about that?
That's not the weekend.
Oh, is that not it?
No,
what
somebody
happened?
passed gas.
Oh, boy. Let me guess who it was. Who was the first one to admit it? And who immediately knew it, Bird?
The first that smelt it dealt it.
If you admit it, you shit it.
A lot of fun little sayings go along with that. There you go. Well, I got to tell you, honestly, I feel a lot better. I got to tell you, honestly, that doing the show, I hope it's as good listening to as it is doing it, because I came in here with a heavy heart. First of all, today's the 24th anniversary of 9/11, and that's just a heart-heavy type of thing. And
right.
pain still hits you with that. And then the Charlie Kirk situation that happened yesterday, horrific and terrible. And that really was weighing very heavy on me. The overall state is not only for his family and his children. It breaks my heart for that reason, and many other reasons. For civil discourse in America, it breaks my heart, but just for the status of where we are. And so we dealt with that earlier on the regular show, and I have some segments, so it'll be posted up that you can check out on YouTube. But I felt like I spoke my piece, and we did honor by Charlie and everything, and said what I need to say on it. And so, I'm going to kind of move past it because I feel good now, but I want to let people know, because I know people were on us saying, hey, you guys need to say something about it. And we did. We addressed it, and I put my best foot forward and spoke what I need to say. So I said what I need to say, and I'm done.
People want us to mention about the school shooting, too, in Colorado. Yeah,
absolutely. I saw that, and, that was just crazy, because that was going on the same time that the Charlie Kirk thing was. And that's why I tell you, yesterday was just, it sidelined my whole day. When that just happened, I just was captivated by it, and I was like, God, what has happened in our country? It's just so sad. It is so sad. It was going, you're right. And it really didn't get what it deserved, the attention. And I didn't really get to see it because it wasn't being covered much. Was there 2 injuries with the children? And
I'm not
shooter
sure.
Took their own life, I thought, is what I had seen. But it did not get the attention it deserved. And it's sad that we had so much horror happening in America yesterday. We couldn't get to all the horrific stories that were happening. So that was rough. So, yes, again, our hearts go out to all of them. It's hurting anytime there is violence unnecessarily. And so like I said, I had a lot to say about it on the regular show. And so, out of respect. You
spoke to Panda. Whatever you said moved him. He said he's putting his phone down. He's going to take a little hiatus from scrolling on social media endlessly, the doom scrolling. And he said it's just making him sad.
Well, I think it also puts look, there's some fun stuff on social media, and I don't always want to be bagging on social media, but there's also a lot of negativity, and a lot of people use it to really fuck up people's days. And if you don't think that's subconsciously bleeding into you, if you are a person that's always reading and scrolling, even just looking at a comment section can bum me out.
Sure.
Where you just go, does everyone want to fight about everything? And I don't know, man. It's too much. It's too much. It bothers me.
It's heavy.
Yeah. So we said our piece on it, and we'll put that out there if you want to ingest it, if you missed it and want to hear all that. But, ultimately the show is supposed to get you away from some of the reality that's out there. Sometimes we don't want to live like ostriches with our heads in the sand, and so we recognize it and say what we need to say to it. But the ultimate goal of KVJ is to take you away from a lot of those problems. But we do recognize them, and our hearts are hurting for all those people that are out there. So God be with them. All right. Got some other stuff going on here today. We were talking about things that maybe as a kid, it didn't fully sink in how messed up it was until you got older. Like, you believed in adults. I believed every word that came out of their mouth until probably about 4th grade. And then I realized that half of them are full of shit. Either they were lying to me or they just really didn't know what I was asking and they were making stuff up. And it's kind of interesting as you go through life and you start to figure all that kind of stuff out.
Wait a minute.
And you don't notice things like Matthew had said in 1973, I thought nothing as I was standing upright on the bench seat between my mom and dad when I was 3 years old. And my dad was smoking a cigarette with the windows up and he had a beer between his legs. I mean, dad's having his best life. It's like he's sitting at the bar driving the whole family around.
That's crazy.
1973.
Well, I started to really kind of, it's for me, when I knew adults were full of shit, the tooth fairy. I stayed up. I was fake sleeping to see what my mom and dad did because I thought it was weird. I go, I want to see this tooth fairy. And I saw them talk about it. I heard the language and they were lying. But clearly they'll never lie about the Easter Bunny. Then I go, wait a minute, what the fuck? A 7-foot Easter Bunny leaving candy in my backyard?
Yeah.
This can't be real.
On pure science alone, I don't think he can get to every house. So I did the same shit, acted like I was sleeping, and I saw them put out every egg out there. Now, I won the egg contest because I saw where they were at.
Yeah.
But I go, yeah, y'all fucking suspect.
And we even had that random question a couple weeks ago. When did you realize that your parents weren't the saints you thought they were? And now as you start thinking about it, being like, yeah, dad was smoking with the windows up, giving me secondhand cancer. And on top of it, he's driving around drinking beers. When that clicks, you're like going, gosh, man.
Oh, my mom would be on everybody's ass about everything. And then meanwhile, she's like chain smoking cigarettes inside the house. I'm like, I don't know. We should be throwing stones.
And we were talking in the process of all of that, of just what a joke it is sometimes when they have those drive-through liquor stands or where you get the daiquiris and they put a piece of Scotch tape across the straw because there's no one that can get through that impenetrable Scotch tape to get to that liquid as they're driving.
Yes, that stickiness will keep you from your delicious daiquiri.
Especially people in Louisiana, they have no idea how to drink and how to get to a fucking
They have many reasons to need that drink.
a drip of alcohol.
Yeah, well, South Florida had them once upon a time, at least, and maybe still do in some places. Richard said, yeah, liquor store in Royal Palm Beach used to sell rum runner and pina colada slushies out of a slushy machine with the alcohol already mixed in it in a to-go cup. It was like 7-Eleven.
A rum runner given to a driver. What could go wrong? Oh, my God. Rum runners will put your dick in the dirt, man.
They're strong.
They are not as strong as call a cab because you really, back in the day when they had those drinks around, you did have to call a cab.
But what's the strongest of them all? Banana daiquiri.
I love that thing. That's our, if we have a KVJ event, we will, that's what I drink.
I love it.
Yeah.
And Keith said they still have a drive-through liquor store in Fort Pierce. It's called The Jetty, and you can get frozen daiquiris in a little juice jug to go.
Wow. The Jetty.
Sounds like a lot of fun, doesn't it? I have to go check out The Jetty. Loving it. And got an email from Hector who was talking about, I do real estate photography, and a lot of times I go over to Palm Beach Island to photograph houses, and it's pretty unbelievable some of the toilets I have seen in these houses. Virginia, you said you're in the market for a new toilet, and we were talking about how they can now go up into the thousands.
Yeah, I can't be affording any of those.
Some of them, as you walk into the bathroom, a light inside the toilet turns on, the toilet lid opens up and basically greets you, and then it has electronics on the wall, all sorts of things. It flushes and stuff like that.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Rocco would love that.
Yes, right. I mean, imagine. That's why I was wondering if you would go big time on the toilet. I mean, what if you just took a down payment or on your house and
You can finance this thing.
finance a toilet just to impress
Take 8
your
months
kid?
to pay it off.
Yeah. I was asking my daughter because she does her work for her family on Palm Beach. And I said, do they have fancy toilets? She said, yeah, mega fancy, because she's got a room there as she stays. She's a live-in nanny.
Well, they have rich ass cheeks. They can't
They do,
be sitting
pampered
on
ass
no.
cheeks.
They even give the nanny a fancy toilet.
Yeah, well, I mean, because it's in the house, so they want everything to be, standard and custom for whoever the guest might be.
And then they immediately make her clean it.
Yeah. She said the lid of my bathroom goes up on its own as you approach it.
Wow.
It flushes on its own. And she said, yeah, we have a heated toilet seat on it, too.
Wow.
Just make sure that that lid goes up. before you start dumping.
That's what I'd say. That is because you're right. Sometimes you come in hot,
In the night.
Yeah, and if you got a slow seat, like,
Well, kind of like that trash can we have all throughout the building here. It's this automatic trash can, and you go to throw something away, but it's on a sensor, so you're trying to throw it away, and it doesn't go up. So
It's a delay.
So you're like, fuck this thing. So you walk away, then that's when you go, meh. So you go to throw it, and then it closes.
yeah, it is. The timing on it's not very
It's
good.
terrible.
Yeah.
You don't want a toilet like that.
No.
No. Lauren said you guys were talking about a new complex in West Palm Beach and the income prices. I think I was mentioning the Nora neighborhood, which is slowly opening up. The coffee shop's open. I think I was talking about the Van Leeuwen. It's Van something or other. Van Leeuwen. Thank you. Van Leeuwen, the ice cream store. I think it's a New York City brand that they brought down here. Yeah, and that was it. I didn't realize that a lot of these complexes, they have somebody that it's their job to fill all the spaces. And so they're always going around. But you can tell because they're polling. Can't remember, unfortunately. I'm drawing a blank on the pizza place that's coming in from New York City. But sounds like they really comb the best of Manhattan to try to bring into Nora, which, that's an ongoing push. I mean, not like we didn't have New Yorkers in South Florida before, but it seems like the whole Wall Street South move, they're trying to get the rest of them.
I think that restaurant is called, if you don't like our New York pizza, you can go fuck yourself. It's a long title.
Okay.
Can you put that on a sign?
I think you can. It's Nora, man. They're edgy. They're now.
And she said you were talking about how they have landed a tech firm that's going to be coming into City Place. I think it's about 8 or 850 jobs. And I think the standard salary is going to be $170K. And I just seen somebody make the comment, said, I mean, that's good. It's a lot of great paying jobs, which is awesome. But when you see a move with that many people in that, it starts to flip the economy of the city a little bit.
You hear that? That is your mortgage and rent going up.
And your ice cream and your pizza.
And your cheese, your potatoes, your scallions.
Well, I'd already told you. I think it was the Harry's that we went to. I think that was a place that T Swift and Travis Kelce had gone. My wife and I had gone right after it opened. We thought, okay, probably out of our range to buy dinner here, but we decided to get a glass of wine, and I think it was $55 for 2 glasses of wine.
Yeah, the balls.
Wow.
The
55
balls.
for 2 glasses?
Yeah.
You better spike my drink.
Well, I'm not going to consider a light pour.
I better have the biggest pour.
Yeah.
With a Quaalude in it.
Yeah. Remy, Juliana's Pizza is the name of the place. Thank you. I think
Juliana's.
Juliana's, yes. Juliana's
Okay.
Pizza is the place there.
I do want to try it. Can you buy one slice?
And share it with 9 friends.
And Remy, they did work for the Nora property, trying to bring in places like that. So, yeah, it's fascinating to see how that goes. But she said the income prices versus the product prices and how high it's going to be. I wanted to offer an alternative perspective. It's not the income they're offering for the employees that's the problem, but the lease prices are absolutely insane. You've mentioned before the carousel businesses that go through City Place and Clematis, but I understand why. For example, the base rent for a place on Clematis, $45 a square foot. Plus, you got to pay for the common area maintenance. A lot of other fees kind of go in on that. So for a 3,500 square foot space, that's $16K a month, $192K a year. And I have seen that. And I know there are other places. I've talked with vendors and whatnot on Clematis Street, and they've just talked about how a lot of places, they're happy just having the place sit open because they won't bend on how much they want to charge per square foot. And that's what I'm like, to me, that's always my concept. I'd love to hear, why can't we do an occupancy tax where if your place is sitting open as an owner, because you want to be a kind of an asshole about, holding it open, because there are a few slots that have sat open for years. And that does not make a strip or a downtown look good when you have vacancies that last for years upon years. And to me, the concept would be, okay, it can sit open, but I'm going to tax you. So whatever you're not willing to compromise with on the rent that nobody could ever make and we can't get a business in there, then you're going to pay it anyway.
I love that.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mayor Hair.
Get him, Mayor Hair.
Get him, Mayor Hair.
That's it. That's what I'd do.
You got
I'd
my
slap
vote,
it on these
Mayor
people.
Hair.
Because when I had that conversation, I said, they just won't. They're like, we'd rather have it sit open.
Oh, just to be a prick.
And it's a place that had sat open for probably 7 to 10 years.
That's
just nothing in
crazy.
it. And I'm like, it looks so bad.
It does. It's an eyesore at that point because it's not maintained.
Well, I will tell you, when you have walkable streets and the ones that do very well, and we've got a lot of them in South Florida, it's the energy that goes from store to store. And I notice when I'm walking, if you hit a place that has nothing in it, it's kind of killed the energy. And if you have too many of those back to back, it feels like a dead street.
Yes.
And so you've got to maintain energy of vibrant stores one after the other as you're walking to have that essence and that presence of feeling like, okay, this is a place to be. Vacancy doesn't say it's a place to be.
No.
She said, I'm a commercial agent in Martin and St. Lucie, and the same thing happened when the Tradition area exploded. I've actively advised my clients to stay away from it because it's simply not sustainable. This is why we don't have the generational businesses anymore, and honestly, it's sad. I hope this gave some insight and understanding. Yeah, it does. And there are places like that. It is a place kind of gets big, then the landlords become very greedy on their rent, and it's not sustainable. You got to say, there is a really good seafood place in Meisner Park in Boca that I've gone to, and it was absolutely fantastic. After 7 years, they closed their doors, and they just said, and they're doing well everywhere else. Like they were open, and they started, I think, at a Four Seasons. And so it's a high-end place, very well done. It had nothing but high marks. They just said we didn't have the foot traffic. And so to me, as a tenant, you got to work with some of these businesses to say, okay, our place doesn't have enough foot traffic, so we understand that. I don't understand why you have to have such high rents when no business could ever afford to be in there. And if you're a good business person, you wouldn't take your business there. You say we're going to be losing money. I'm not in business to lose money. So it doesn't make any sense to me. I guess I don't get the game. I'd like for somebody to explain it more because I just walk away with more questions than I do answers when we talk about this stuff. Lewis from Gainesville said, hey, longtime listener here, alumnus of the University of South Florida in Tampa, ahead of our game with the U on Saturday. It's going to be a big game in the college world.
Yeah.
The U has looked dominating, and South Florida came off of beating the Gators last week in the swamp in
Nobody
Gainesville.
expected that.
No, I don't think so. I thought it was going to be a battle. I thought it was going to be close. My son Kane and I were kind of taking a look on that. Their quarterbacks are very good, and they've looked solid. But I did not think that they would do what they did, and they look very good. Quick little history of the football team, since many people don't know. They started in 97, was ranked for the first time in 2007, became the youngest team to get ranked since their inauguration. And they've got wins over Notre Dame, Auburn, Kansas, West Virginia, FSU, and now Florida, even Miami. Yeah, I went. They said our highest ranking was number 2 in 2007. So I went to that game. They were number 2. West Virginia also was undefeated. It was a really good game. It was right there in Tampa. My family comes from West Virginia. Got a big connection. So we went to the game. A fantastic game. USF wound up winning that game, and they were the underdogs. And then the most memorable thing, I kind of blocked out the whole game, but walking out there, because you got some rednecks in West Virginia, and you have one of these drunked up West Virginia Mountaineer fans still talking shit. And I remember watching him just get his ass kicked up and down Dale Mabry, the street right in front of the stadium. It's almost like groups of USF fans. One group was kicking his ass, knocked him all the way down. Another group's like, we got it. And then they beat his ass back down the street. And then the other group kicked it. But Mountaineers don't give up.
And we call that teamwork.
They did. They worked together to whoop
On
the ass.
and off the field.
And I'm like, where's his friends? But he kept fighting, and it was like 8 guys. Come on. And I'm like, dude, know when to say when.
You got to respect that Rocky mentality.
In a way, I respect him. In a way, I'm like, well, this motherfucker is so stupid.
He's thick.
Both can be true. You can respect somebody.
You be stupid and thick,
I could
headed.
not. The ass beating he took was so impressive. I was there probably 20 minutes just watching this thing. It's the most entertaining thing of the whole game. Just got his ass whooped up and kept going.
Sometimes stupidity can be respected at the same time.
Okay. I've never seen anything like it. I'm like, my God. I'm like, throw in the damn towel. I'm like,
he's had enough.
I'm throwing in the towel. I'm like, stop.
Shit.
And he would be down. I'm like, stay down. He'd get up. All right, who wants some more? And I'm like, what the hell? Stay down.
Heart of a champion.
Stay down. Keep your ass on the ground.
He must have been drinking some good moonshine.
It must have been. But yeah, they had an impressive little run, had a little bit of a scandal. I think their coach that had done so well kind of roughed up somebody, and they got rid of him, and the program went in a bit of a decline. But very exciting. I mean, I think University of South Florida, I think Central Florida is actually the biggest school, the biggest university in Florida, and I think USF is right up there. I think they might be bigger than Florida and Florida State. There's something about USF. Yeah, it's just kind of odd that you got those 2 schools you don't think too much about. But it goes to show you how what a powerhouse Florida could be in football. And it's kind of good to see Florida State seems like they're back. The U seems like they're having a good year. And I wouldn't count out the Gators either. So it's good to see all these Florida teams kicking ass.
Come on, Dolphins, it's our year. Our year this year.
I think we're just talking about college.
I know.
He's trying to get me all fired up. Now, I told myself I'm going to breathe this week. I'm going to breathe this week on the Dolphins. I'm not going to get all upset. I'm not going to take the bait.
My own personal bit for the entire season, no matter how bad it gets. Come on, it's our year.
It's our year.
Let's do this thing.
Wow. Let me see. This on snakes said, yeah, you're all talking about the most venomous snakes in Florida. And after listening to you, I went to Walgreens. When I parked, I opened the door, had nothing but flip-flops on, started putting my foot down and noticed a coral snake sitting right there.
No.
Yeah.
Right when we were talking about snakes, that's weird.
Yeah.
Is coral dangerous?
Big time, yeah. I think you had bolted, and then I went through the list. It was definitely up there. It's one of the top 5 most venomous you have in the state.
Yeesh.
Then I closed the door till it slithered away. I wish I'd taken a picture, but I was just so nervous and weirded out. It happened in a parking lot. Said, yeah, we get rattlesnakes where we live once in a while.
I was going to say, sometimes there are rattlesnakes that will be in residential backyards and porches and stuff. You think, oh, rattlesnake, it's out in the wild somewhere.
Yeah.
Shit that, man. You can easily have a rattlesnake in your backyard.
No, thank you.
Well, the story that still gets my attention was the Amazon driver that was at a door in Port St. Lucie, I think it was, and got bit by a rattlesnake. Didn't even see it because it was hiding behind there like a little bin or something like that right by the door, and it was just chilling right there. And when they went to drop the package, it went, and they just felt something hot on their ankle, and they're like, "What the hell?"
Oh,
and I guess,
gosh.
and the thing that's always curious to me, okay, let's say Virginia gets bit by a rattlesnake. How long do you have until this rattlesnake poison really screws you up? Is it an hour? Is it 6?
I need you to suck the poison out.
I would suck the poison out of any of you if I had to. I just don't think it works. And I don't.
It's a movie trick.
I don't even give a shit where they bite you. Kevin gets sucked on that, or Kevin gets bit on that. You know.
D. If the snake bites the snake.
Why would my dick be in a place that's near a snake?
Kevin,
and is
don't
it like
ask
a
questions.
snake on snake crime?
What if you're out somewhere and you're pissing outside and it falls right on your dick and bites it?
And would you be mad if I told you I'd been bitten on the dick by a snake, but I was just pranking you?
5 minutes into you trying to get the poison out, he lets you know.
Within 5 minutes, we'd be cheering beers, laughing about it.
Got you, didn't I?
Oh, man, you're so good.
I gotta tell you, it felt really good, though.
You still got it. You still got it, dog.
Still got it, man. It was the best prank ever. I can't believe it. I'll suck your dick for 10 minutes.
How much poison's in this thing?
Oh, wait, it's about to come out. Somebody said, Kev, do better. Please stop speaking on Sabrina Carpenter's new album. It has way more than 2 hits. Check social media. Just because you're a self-proclaimed radio expert doesn't mean you know everything. And please tell Jbird that Broward is no coward. Okay, well, first off, I don't even know what that's all about.
Broward is no coward. It's references some shit from like 4 years ago that only he has been stewing on.
Yeah, I'm not a self-proclaimed radio expert. I don't claim to be. And when it came to Sabrina Carpenter's new album, somebody had that wrong yesterday. I'd said it was Lizzo's album that tanked, not Sabrina Carpenter's. And Virginia had asked me after I scanned through the album, said, how do you think it is? I said, I think I hear at least 2 hits. It's on there. And it's my conjecture that I think they gave her a hit because they wanted to make sure they had a bona fide one. Because they had a mystery song that came out. And I could be wrong by that. And I said, look, this is conjecture.
You were talking about Lizzo and Sabrina Carpenter kind of in the same conversation.
It was close.
And I think people got confused. Because I even got confused with it.
That's why I want to clarify.
Yeah, I thought you were saying the same thing, but you were not.
Yeah, it was Lizzo's album that tanked. And look, the Sabrina Carpenter, it was the day it came out. I'm doing show work. I'm listening to it. I kind of scanned through for what songs we put in the montage. I'm like, okay, these 2 sound like hit potential.
You're also not a 24-year-old woman.
It's true. Yeah. So that sounds good. I'm happy that people love it on social media and it's doing fantastic. So, yeah, I never tried to poo-poo on it.
So I guess
the record straight.
I guess my next question, Kevin, is why do you hate Sabrina Carpenter so much?
Yeah, exactly. I don't know why people keep hearing that. I got nothing against her. I'm rooting for her. I think she's great. I'm rooting for Lizzo, too. I'm rooting for all of them. I'm just trying to give my quick opinions on stuff. Yeah. I don't know. We'll wait and see. Look, I always tell you that. It's like the songs I love and I think, oh, this is going to be so hot. I realize I'm always wrong. I thought that song Messy. I'm like, gosh, what a great song that is. I love that song. And it got close to us and RMF played it, but we never got it regularly on Morning Drive.
It still did good, though.
It did.
I mean, we got to stop.
And I was trying to say that as well, and I got to also qualify it by saying the ultimate peak is making it onto the morning show on WRMF because the standard is so high because of the status of the radio station, and I get it. They don't play anything that's even not a bona fide massive hit, and then they play the crap out of them until they're not on whatever this category is.
But let's stop acting like if you make the top 40, you're doing something right. Top 40 is not an easy thing to do.
Big time.
To me, if you have it's a hit. If you're in the top 40, you've got a hit on your hand. That would go on your greatest hits.
Yeah. And look, anymore, I think there's different definitions of what a hit is because now people are finding on, for instance, like Spotify, it may be doing very well. They may be having a lot of great streams. And, that's where to come to when I was talking to David, our PD, about Somber, who I'm kind of pitching for. I'm just asking, I'm like, so where is it? I'm like, because I see the streams are doing really well. It's doing great on social media. And he's like, his last one, it got close, but it's not over that hump of whatever their criteria is. And one day I'll bring him in here and maybe you can explain it that doesn't bore everybody, because honestly it's pretty boring when you start going to the metrics and numbers and how they do it.
Just tell him. 30 seconds.
Yeah,
and tell me what day that is.
Yeah. I know a lot of people probably don't want to hear it, but y'all complain about it. I just tell you, look, they look at numbers and they've got a
formula.
Yes, it's a formula on how they do it.
And we also, again, don't have any control over the music. And you have to say it over and over because people still think Kevin can play whatever song he wants at any time, and they think you love, the Lady Gaga Bruno song so much that you play it all.
No,
we don't have
it's
zero
not.
power.
No, it's not. In fact, I was talking to him about I want to do a spotlight on Somber, and it kind of comes down that, look, our numbers get looked at, our songs get looked at by corporate too. And so he's like, hey,
it's a bigger machine.
It'll get flagged. And they'll be like, why is this being played in Morning Drive? He'll get asked that question. And it's like, you got to defend yourself and be like, okay, here's why we did it.
The days of like 1975 where the DJ goes, give me that album. Fuck yeah, I'll play that shit. I want 2 blowjobs from a hooker, though. Okay, here we go. Yeah, it's a hit. All right.
That's why I love doing that's why I like the free-for-all, because we're like, we tell them, be like, okay, here's what we're doing. But even then, you're still trying to be like, okay, we're going to try to be able to justify even these crazy songs we play for the most part.
It can't be too crazy.
Yes.
We can't play Operator by Jim Croce from the 70s.
Yes.
That's going to throw up some red flags.
You don't want to do a massive tune out that loses 80% of the audience. So,
I think we gain listeners with Croce, but that's just me, though.
Yeah.
We know you love that Croce.
Is there a radio station today playing Jim Croce?
Absolutely. Dude, you always do. We go through this debate every fucking year. Jim Croce he's got like
I know he was. I'm just saying currently right now in West Palm Beach.
Sonny right now.
Sonny's he's on their playlist.
I bet my face on it that they play every now and then Jim Croce gets on that album.
I'm going to get you an answer.
Okay.
Fuck. Because I'm going to be wrong.
Come on, Croce. We're not going to lose your face again, are we?
Does Jim Croce ever play on Sunny 107.9?
Okay. All right. I'm gonna text him and I'm gonna find out here if Sonny plays Jim Croce, because I don't think I've heard Jim Croce. But I don't.
What are you
listen
monitoring Sonny all the time? What the fuck?
And that's what I'm saying. I said I don't. I hear it when I'm going in the hall or going to the toilet. It's on and kind of get an idea what they play. Oh man, they had him on the toilet today and they were playing. Little Journey. I was like, oh man, Separate Ways, Worlds Apart. Oh, that's a jam.
I'm just saying, whether they play it or not, you've always had a boner against Jim Croce.
Well, I'm just telling you. I'm saying, we're talking about the standard of what makes, these radio stations, which there's fine margins here, and you're like saying we got to play Jim Croce. I'm like, I don't think anybody's playing Jim Croce. That's all I'm saying.
I don't know. Man.
I'm just asking what radio station's playing Jim Croce. Now, maybe on Legends.
No way. That's like, I'm put him in the back, stick him in the back, bomb. It's like that.
Have you listened to Legends lately? I think it's really a lot of the stuff you listen to. I really do. I think that would be your only argument.
You're talking about Legends 10 years ago.
Yes. Legends today is really playing your favorite songs.
It's where Croce goes to die.
Yeah.
You're right. Nobody in the country's playing Jim Croce.
I think you can make that argument. No, it's not on the playlist for Sonny. Great artist, though, David says.
Great artist. David's always trying to be so positive and sweet.
All right, now I have to do fucking Jim Croce research and find stations that's playing him. Because you're saying nobody in the country plays him.
Oh, I'm sure there's a shitty radio station in my hometown. They're probably playing the hell out of Jim Croce.
All right.
Poor Croce. Poor Jbird. It's a tough hill to die on.
Yeah, I can't wait for your report.
Yes, it will be. It won't be good.
The Croce report.
I'm not going to give you a Croce report. Fuck Jim Croce.
Oh.
He's fantastic. Everybody agrees. He's a great artist. Look him up. It's just he's not getting played on radio. Jill, she said, for all of you serial killer fans out there, Amazon Prime has just dropped tons of shows, movies, and documentaries about yours truly, Ed Gein, Gacy, Dahmer, just in time to get ready for the chat room premiere. Happy Thursday, Jill.
Oh, yeah, that Ed Gein thing, they're pushing it hard on Netflix. It's like the first thing that came up in documentaries, and I was like, scrolling past it as quick as I could because I don't even want to see the preview.
I've been fascinated by the Ed Gein fun facts we've been getting here, which are not so fun. But
no, they're horrible.
They are horrific, but you're just like, oh my gosh, I realize I'm too soft. I couldn't watch that.
Don't even watch the trailer. And Netflix does this weird thing on my TV now where it automatically shows me every trailer. I can't just look at the icon, the fingernail of it. Now it just automatically shows me previews of everything. So I almost accidentally got in Ed Gein.
Yeah. Apparently
Ed Gein would like to get into you.
Yikes. Yeah, I don't know if I want to know too much more about that.
Yeah, you guys are too. You guys don't want to watch that stuff.
We're softer than Jim Croce.
Fuck, man. Whatever. I'm gonna go home and listen to Croce.
And I got an email here. It says that my husband, just to let you know, started that hormone therapy through injection. You're talking about the conversation we had to do with Charlie Sheen, talking about it was the testosterone cream that was kind of making him a maniac. Saying, well, look, with anything like that, when you're dealing with hormones, you got to be careful. Because hormones really write everything in your body. And that's why, I do talk about, I do the hormone replacement therapy. But
they take your blood and they check your levels periodically to make sure that you're not in an unhealthy range.
And you also have never used the ones that had crack and cocaine in it.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, they're very easy to abuse and overuse. And you always need to have a quality place that is checking that. Because, you will act like a maniac if you get your hormones all out of whack.
Well, then throw in crack and throw in booze and throw in everything else you're doing on top. It's already changing you as a person with just the hormone or the whatever you're doing.
Isn't it a wonder that Charlie Sheen was as normal as he was in that era, considering everything he was doing?
I did not find him normal.
He could have been worse.
I think it was.
He was pretty wild.
Dog, he shot Kelly Preston. I know they say it was an accident. It ricocheted off a toilet, and my response to that was, right.
Yeah, so she said, my husband started the hormone therapy through injections, and he accidentally overdosed, and he ended up going through what seemed like PMS. It was horrible. It took about 4 months to get it right.
Oh, no.
Yeah, you can't. I mean, that's the thing with your levels, and you got to have things to kind of balance it out, because if you do too much on this, oddly enough, you start producing estrogen, then you get bamboos, and you start crying for no reason.
I was going to say, is there situations where you can have too much of something on that level and it go the other way, where you're emotional and crying on one,
absolutely,
and then you're like, fuck, let's work out.
When done right, it's amazing, and it does help you with brain fog and your energy and focus and sleeping and your body and everything. It's amazing if you go to the right place and do the right thing. If you do not, then you could unleash hell on yourself and your family. Yeah, hormones are nothing to jack with. I mean, Virginia, you know, when your females deal with hormones like crazy, pregnancy and all those other things, menopause and whatnot. I mean, tell me about the roller coaster rides that ladies go on with hormones.
It's wild. And when you're in it, you don't even realize how wild it is, because you just think that, life is coming at you. But in retrospect, when you look back on it, and now that I'm in it and I know what I know about menopause, it changes you. It changes your brain. It changes the way you react. It changes the way you speak and think. And it puts weird thoughts in your head.
kind of crazy.
Hormones are wild, y'all.
Yeah. So do not play when it comes to the hormones. And one other thing I want to get to is we're starting to drift into the Halloween season. Would you ever purchase a resident that was being sold basically on the fact that it was haunted, possibly has demon presences in it, Virginia?
You buy a house just because you know it's haunted? No.
They're actually kind of using that, it sounds like, as a selling point. It's the Burrillville, Rhode Island farmhouse. I don't know if you ever seen a movie called The Conjuring, Jbird?
Yes.
Well, they say that this horror movie, The Conjuring, and this Burrillville, Rhode Island farmhouse is going to be auctioned off, of course, on Halloween. Now, if you never saw the movie, the film was based on paranormal events experienced by the Perrin family in the 1970s. Roger and Carolyn Perrin lived there with their 5 daughters, Andrea, Nancy, Christine, Cindy, and April, for nearly a decade. The family reported encountering strange phenomena, including foul smells, could have been family farts, shaking beds, wall knocks, mysterious voices, and moving brooms.
Whoa.
And then there's these paranormal investigators I've heard of, Ed and Lorraine Warren. I think they're the ones that
they're the ones that did Amityville, I believe.
Did they do Annabelle the Doll too? Was that them?
That was, yeah, I believe so.
Okay.
But I've been wrong a lot today, so let me double check.
Yeah, they connected the disturbances to Bathsheba Sherman, who allegedly practiced witchcraft in the 1800s and cursed the land after sacrificing an infant on the property.
Oh, my gosh.
Right?
They sacrificed an infant and cursed the land, and now, moving forward, the house is haunted?
Who wants it?
Oh, no thanks.
That's what I thought as well. Like, what would you even do with that place?
I guess you could make it like a museum.
Maybe an Airbnb?
A tourist attraction, yeah, an Airbnb.
But if somebody walks out of there possessed, is it on you? Like, how do you
No.
cover that with insurance?
Because you can't prove that. It's not gonna hold up in court. Believe me, people have tried doing that.
Really? Saying
Yep.
a place got them possessed?
Or just, I'm possessed by the devil, or it just doesn't hold up.
Yeah, so I guess that'd be the thing you'd look at. Now, would you ever stay there, Jbird?
Fuck yeah.
Okay. So see, there you go.
He don't care.
You got some
There's
people.
your target audience.
Right. You got some people that'd be like, all right, yeah, I'll do it.
He would go with a camera crew and hope that something went down.
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
they always say the Lake Worth Playhouse was,
Yeah.
and everyone left. I spent the night by myself in there and laid on the stage asking for, come on, show me something. Let's go. I'm still here. Mm-hmm. Still here.
Isn't that the place that you think there was like a weird seance thing there? Y'all
There
did?
was. That was a very odd situation where there's a downstairs, I don't want to say basement, but some kind of, it's something like that. And we had about 11 or 12 death psychics. They were all dressed in black, circling around. And at the time, our producer had brought her dog there, and her dog was fine. And as soon as she walked up to the death psychics and to the Lake Worth Playhouse, the dog started to shit blood, and it started to vomit. So she kind of calmed it down and brought the dog into the house or into the playhouse. It started to shit blood again. It started getting sick, so she took it right to the animal ER. When she got there, they said, "There's nothing wrong with your dog," and the dog stopped shitting blood, stopped throwing up, and seemed to appear healthy. Now, I saw that with my own eyes.
Wow.
I also did see a girl during the seance where it did. Now, you could argue, if you want to be the naysayer, there was lights in there and it was kind of dark, so maybe the candle made it appear it looked like she grew a beard, but during the seance you could see something manifest on her face, as if something was trying to go onto her face during that seance. And everyone
crazy.
left, and I stayed on the couch, and I mean, nothing happened after that.
Was that where somebody got possessed?
That is where someone did get possessed, supposedly. Now, we don't know what else was going on in that person's life.
We don't,
All
but-
we know is that this person went in the seance, asked to, have spirit talk through them. And about a week later, his girlfriend said, I was looking out the window and he was out in the backyard digging up holes and cursing God.
He's in the back digging with his hands.
She's like doing the dishes and she looks out the window. It's like, why is my love out there digging holes? And what's he saying? He's screaming at God? All right.
That sounds like a possession to me.
But how do we know he didn't, just drink a whole bottle of whiskey?
And could he come back and sue the company, saying that we got him possessed?
Yeah, but good luck proving that.
How do you prove that in court?
Yeah, I wonder if there's ever been a case that has been successful where somebody tried to claim that somebody's responsible for their possession.
Because somebody's definitely tried it.
Probably.
Well, I mean, that's really kind of sometimes what saying, pleading insanity is. I was under some kind of a spell. I didn't know what I was doing. Mm-hmm. And people go, okay, yeah, shut the fuck up. You're going to cell block E.
Yeah, that's a tough thing.
It's very hard to prove that you are clinically insane, and most people do not get that.
Yeah, we'd received an email, I think it was this week or last, and somebody saying, I guess they have experts that really can kind of tell when that's happening, because that's a current story right now with the stabbing that happened on that bus in Charlotte. The guy who had stabbed is saying that the government put something in him that turned on his brain to tell him to do that. He would never stab somebody like that on his own.
Oh, boy.
And so they're going to have to try to sort through that. Is this guy... First of all, does he have anything put in him by the government? Second of all, yes, what is the fine line? Is he just making that up to try to appear crazy, or is he really got some serious mental issues going on?
When you start showing premeditation and you start showing things like that, you start to kind of rule out that you're criminally insane because you're showing right from wrong.
Right.
And that's, I'm not saying that you can't be criminally insane and still not know right from wrong, because I think there are some people who have mental issues, but there are people who have really severe mental issues that still get tried as not a person who's clinically insane.
Right. Yeah, I don't feel like we do a very good separation of that yet in our society, and I think probably need to put a little bit more in it, realizing, look, and I don't know if it's true or not, but somebody had said we went through this period where we shut down a lot of the mental hospitals they used to call them insane asylums. Like I told you, when I was in college, I did the landscaping at one, and they had minimized it. It was a huge complex. It overlooks Ohio University, downtown, in Athens, Ohio, and it's up on a hill, and it's a spooky looking ass building, man. You talk about a nice haunted little place. And so I was down there kind of in the transition. This was early 90s. So I think it was in the 80s they kind of started moving people out as that movement started to happen.
You were in charge of trimming the bushes at the insane asylum?
Well, we had to do everything. So the worst was when it would rain, they would put us down there, and we didn't realize, asbestos was so bad. And I had a little scraper, and we were scraping lead paint off of the walls inside.
I'm sure that's great for your lungs.
But they had the rooms. They were brick, and they had a steel door, just like out of a movie. It was the craziest thing.
Wow.
And they were like cages, and you would go into, because I'd have to be in those little things, and you would see claw marks where people were clawing, trying to get through the brick to claw their way out. And you're like, oh my gosh, they should film a horror movie in there.
My grandmother
Chilling.
was a nurse at a clinically insane asylum, and the stories she would tell, they really are heartbreaking.
I can imagine,
but it's also horrifying too.
Absolutely horrifying.
Because you don't know who's going to attack you. You don't know. It really is. Some of the stories remind me of the part from Silence of the Lambs, when they're walking.
It is.
And
it's like
just people out of their minds. You'll hear screaming, and especially back in the olden times, where a lot of times, they didn't give a shit if you were insane. They'd do tests on you.
You're a lab rat?
Sometimes there's reports of that.
Well, my grandma Beulah, she was in some pretty intense mental hospitals when I was a kid. And I remember going to visit her. Probably looking back on it, probably one a great thing from my parents, because the wailing still is in my ears. Like in the 80s, like
they took little Kevin and it was too much.
Walking me down the hall and saying, everybody's wailing and screaming, and it was just, I'm like, what the hell is going on here? This is crazy.
But a lot of these murderers, that they know they're fucked, so they're only Hail Marys to go, I'm criminally insane. And you look at the way they did the crime, how they did it,
planned
they
it,
disposed of it's not the mark of somebody who's just if you're out of your mind, you don't know what's going on.
Right.
Yeah.
If you are any kind of premeditation or anything that's trying to hinder the evidence. And they can, if you do, it's insane to me, even in 2025, when people are, murder for hire and they're texting back, here's what we're going to do, just delete these messages. They can get everything. All they have to do is grab your phone, whether they delete it or not, they dump it, and they get everything.
It's all on the cloud, bro.
There's nothing you can erase anymore.
Yeah, so I think now, I know from Southeastern Ohio and West Virginia, they've closed a lot of those places, and I think now they don't know what to do with some people like that, so they're like going, fuck it, just be on the streets. I think that's kind of what we're dealing with, because they're like, it's kind of cruel to have them locked up, but, now you have some of these people that probably, and the families, a lot of these families are saying, please help. Like we
lock
can't,
him up.
And they were with the guy in Charlotte, same thing. They were saying, this guy's violent. Like somebody needs to do something. He's past our capacity. And he was just left to wander the streets and obviously murder because something was in his brain and body. Yeah, it's something I think we need to start having that uncomfortable conversation about it and saying some of these places like that little place on the hill in Athens, Ohio, we might want to open that back up again.
I feel like we do talk about, not us, but I think mental health is something that has been talked about a lot. It just feels like no one knows the proper way to do it or how to handle it. But I hear people talking about it. I just don't hear any good solutions.
Yeah, I think as it is right now, they don't want to lock somebody up that doesn't deserve it, and that is the question.
You're not a murderer until you murder.
Right, exactly. And I think that's kind of how they've left it. In some instances, we're like going, technically they haven't done anything yet, and then it's not until they do. And then we have this conversation of why wasn't he in some facility or something? Like, well, you just don't do that now.
And the other thing, too, is, if someone's just acting bizarre and weird, being bizarre and acting weird isn't a crime. It's a crime if you're, impeding on someone's peace. So I think a lot of times people will, because, you can have mental issues and not know what's going on and still also not be violent as well.
Right.
So there's this big spectrum of issues here.
Yeah, I think in the 30s and 40s, they just locked everybody up.
They did.
They called you a loon. If you looked a little bit crazy or did something a little bit off, you lock them up.
I think they locked up women in menopause.
Probably, yeah.
They were like, oh, yeah, she's a little spicy.
Yeah.
Lock her up.
Like with everything, the pendulum swings in the other direction, and we do it the wrong way in the opposite side. So.
Well, you think it wasn't that long ago when doctors were telling women, do not ride a bike. You're going to get bicycle face. And it was really because they didn't want women getting their independence.
Freedom.
They would lie about getting bicycle face because they knew that would freak women out. I don't want bicycle face. Yeah. They did that just to fucking... That wasn't that long ago.
Yeah, it's crazy stuff. We need to start finding our way because, we're missing the mark on a few things. Do appreciate your emails. Got anything to say? You can always get it through to us. mail@kvjshow.com. Boy, I feel like we all need a weekend, and that's going to happen tomorrow. So be here for it as we kick it off on the KVJ Show. Goodbye.